Yes.
Okay.
I get fluid with it.
Okay.
And that's where I met Will. But Will knew a lot of goons and a lot of gangsters. It's blood everywhere. So I get up and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta get the out. Oh,
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will. Plug-in, not high-speed internet at this time. And I was like, oh, they murdered this person. So when they did Hawthorne, Jada started with Mark Anthony, who is J-Lo's husband.
It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense.
The reason Will responded, the reason why Jada responded, because they know it's true. If you don't sue me in 2 weeks, if Tasha K will have me, I'm back here and I'm dropping evidence.
Brother Bilal, an ex-assistant and best friend of Will Smith, appeared in a podcast with Unwine with Tasha K with his claims that shook that world. Bilal started the conversation on how he actually met Will Smith and further talked about how he spent half of his life with him. Bilal shared that he guest-hosted a radio show in Philadelphia called The Rap Digest with Mimi Brown on Philly's Best WD. He explained that as soon as he got in front of the microphone, he became more fluid and confident. It was during his time on the show that he met Will Smith. Bilal recounted a tense day in the studio with 6 people present. The studio soon filled with about 20 people when a man brandished a weapon, prompting most to flee. However, Mimi insisted that Bilal stay. The armed man remained silent, likely recognizing Bilal as a fellow Muslim. He stated, that day it was 6 people in the studio, was Mimi and I who actually hosted the show. It was the gangsta and his friend, and it was Will and Charlie who end up coming to the studio, and a guy that I call Charlie the Rat Ma now, but I'll get into that later. And while they came in, it was about 20 people in the studio. The guy told everybody to leave. The guy he was with was brandishing a weapon. He added, so everybody ran out the studio. About 20 people in there at the time. Mimi said, Bao's going to stay in the studio with me, so they didn't say anything. And I knew this individual, he was Muslim, and he knew me to be, he didn't say anything. Things escalated when Will and Charlie arrived. While Will was being interviewed, the armed man interrupted, pressuring Will to acknowledge how this individual had helped him financially, accusing him of acting like he didn't know anyone now that he was successful. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense as the confrontation unfolded.
So you guys, did you grow up together?
Yeah, so ironically in Philly, I worked in radio. I guest host on a radio show in Philly called The Rap Digest with Mimi Brown, Philly's Best WDAS. Man, I'm getting
Okay, I see
again.
that microphone in front of you.
Yes.
Okay.
I get fluid with it.
Okay.
And that's where I met Will.
Bilal explained that Will Smith didn't engage in hardcore rap, which contributed to his uniqueness. He emphasized that Will stayed true to his style and authenticity instead of conforming to what everyone else was doing. However, Will was connected to many goons and gangsters. Bilal further continued the story, recounting a brutal scene filled with chaos and blood. He urged everyone to leave, determined to stay true to the situation. While trying to protect Charlie, who was confronting the armed man, Bilal pulled Will out of his chair, insisting they needed to go. As they exited, police units resembling SWAT arrived, having been called by those who had been told to leave, resulting in a lockdown of the radio station. He stated, it's blood everywhere, so I get up and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta get the out. Oh, yes. Oh, okay, so I just want okay. I just want to be authentic to the conversation. Don't give a go ahead. Okay, so I was like, y'all got to get the out of here. So I'm telling Charlie, trying to get back at the guy. I'm in the middle. I'm grabbing Will out the chair, like y'all got to go. So as they're leaving, there's all these police, almost like SWAT units, coming to the radio station because the people that they told to leave, and he was brandish a gun, must have called the police. So, they locked down a whole radio station. Bilal recounted informing Mimi Brown that the armed man had tried to hit Charlie first. He anticipated police questioning and decided to lie, claiming Charlie connected the first punch, which helped prevent Will and Charlie from going to jail. This act solidified Bilal's bond with Will, transforming their friendship into brotherhood.
I told Mimi Brown, I said, listen, that guy tried to hit Charlie first, right? And she I said, yeah. I said, they're going to come here and ask us a bunch of questions. And what I saw was this guy tried to hit Charlie, but Charlie connected first. And she said, cool. So essentially that, I lied for Will that day and Charlie the Rat Mac so they wouldn't go to jail. And that cemented me and Will's relationship as brothers because we were already friends.
He noted that an all-points bulletin, APB, was issued for Will, with police actively searching for him, complete with available mugshots. At the time, Will was around 19 years old, and Bilal reflected on how young they all were. He stated, "It was an APB out on Will, not Charlie, but Will, so the police force was looking for Will, and there's his mugshots and everything that's available. I think Will was like 19-20. We were young, he probably was 19. However, Will Smith's personal life has been out in public ever since his estranged wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, made some shocking revelations about their marriage. Will Smith and Duane Martin have been friends for 3 decades now. The two first met on the sets of Smith's The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and soon became close friends. They were also rumored to be together earlier. But as Bilal went deep in the talks with Tasha K, he revealed that he once stumbled upon Will Smith and Duane Martin in a compromising scenario in Martin's dressing room. He described Smith as bent over on a couch, while Martin was standing up, dominating him, emphasizing that it appeared as if there was murder occurring in that moment.
So, all right, I open the door to Duane's dressing room, and that's when I see Duane and having sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second. Who was on top?
It wasn't a top. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Duane was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
Bilal stated that he felt frozen in shock, as he was unaccustomed to witnessing such an encounter, which he found traumatizing. He confessed that he had never watched gay porn and had never seen such an explicit act between two men. The sight of Will Smith bent over while Duane was engaged in the act was overwhelming for him. "I froze. What did you see? I'm not used to seeing. Listen it's traumatizing. I've never seen, I don't watch gay porn, you know, I never seen a man f***. Another man, Will Smith, was bent over and Duane was killing him." Bilal further explained that after witnessing the scene, he quickly decided not to enter the room. He backed out, locked the door, and left, cutting off communication with the walkie-talkie, which created chaos on set as no one could reach him or Will. He found himself at a crossroads, contemplating whether to leave or stay. Ultimately, he chose to remain, but resolved to act as if he hadn't seen anything at all.
Now I'm off a walkie-talkie, everything. So it's chaos on the set. Nobody can get in touch with Will. Nobody can get in touch with me. So I said, all right, I gotta leave. Then I said, do I leave or do I stay? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay, but my position is I didn't see anything.
Bilal continued by describing how Will approached him to discuss something significant. Uncertain of Will's intent, Bilal attempted to steer the conversation back to their work. However, Will insisted they needed to talk, informing Bilal that he had made a call and that some papers would arrive that day for him to sign. Confused about the need for the paperwork, Bilal listened as Will explained that he was trying to protect him.
Will says, I gotta talk to you. So I said, about what? He said, you know what? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, oh, you know what I'm talking. I said, well, I have no idea what are you talking about. What we need to finish today. Like, I'm trying to get that out. So he said, no, we need to talk. So he said, listen, I made a call. Some papers are going to come here today. I need you to sign them. And I said, why am I signing papers? And he said, listen, I'm trying to protect you.
Despite feeling unafraid, believing he feared no one but Allah, Bilal was unsettled by Will's reference to a trans woman who had been involved with Eddie Murphy. Will suggested that something serious had happened to her, leaving Bilal confused. Curious, he later went home and Googled the situation, learning that the transgender woman had been murdered. Bilal was careful with his language, aiming to avoid offending anyone, and clarified that he should refer to her as a transgender woman. He encouraged others to research the information themselves, as it was a point Will had emphasized during their discussion.
So he says 3 things that made me scared, because I fear no man but Allah, but I don't fear nothing but Allah. And he said that you remember the trans, I hope I'm saying it right, who got caught with Eddie Murphy. He said, you know what happened to him, right? I had no idea what happened to the trans that got caught in the car with Eddie Murphy.
Me either. What happened?
So I go home and Google it. They murdered him. Or the transsexual. I don't know to say him or her. I don't know what's politically correct. So I hope I'm not offending anyone.
It's transgender, but
okay, transgender.
Trans woman.
So okay. So They said, now you can Google this yourself. This is one of the things he said.
Bilal recounted that the transgender individual found in the car with Eddie Murphy was preparing for interviews, anticipating significant earnings, especially before the internet became common. He explained that this person had locked someone out and, in a bizarre turn, tied sheets together to swing back into the apartment from the roof. Bilal questioned the logic of trying to swing back in instead of simply breaking a window. He stated, the transgender that was caught in the car with Eddie Murphy, where Eddie Murphy paid this guy to have oral sex, or the transgender to have oral sex, was about to start doing interviews. And back then the internet wasn't big. They paid you gobs of money to do interviews. And they said that the transgender person locked their out. The house tied some sheets together from a roof and tried to swing into the apartment from the roof. This is documented. Do you know anybody that get locked out the house that's going to tie some sheets together and swing into their apartment from the roof? He encouraged others to Google the details for more information, emphasizing that this was part of what Will had shared with him. Bilal went home and logged onto AOL, noting that internet access at the time was not very high speed. As he searched for information, he was shocked to discover that the transgender individual had been murdered.
You just break a window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I want people to Google that. So this is what he told me. I go home and I'm on AOL.
The Will Smith allegations just keep on rolling in the media, most of which surfaced from his friend brother Bilal. However, there's another scandalous and unfounded thing he spoke on that has actually been part of the gossip train for a while. This relates to Mark Anthony, who was with Jennifer Lopez at the time, cheating on her with Jada, who remains with the actor to this day.
So when they did Hawthorne, Jada started with Mark Anthony, who is J-Lo's husband, right? They did a TV show called Hawthorne.
Is that why they divorced?
So
Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony.
Yeah. So so let me go a little bit
Okay,
deeper.
go ahead.
Let's go a little bit deeper. So this is a full-on relationship on the set, like romantic relationship. Not okay. I just gave him some pussy and that's it. Like it's a relationship. So, Will hears about this and kind of devastated. At this point, this is where you see all the papers are going crazy. A divorce is imminent and so forth and so on. The final straw is when Will came home and caught Jada Mark Anthony on the couch at their home.
Furthermore, this is another installment in a long-running series around conversations around the Smiths' alleged or proven infidelity. Back to the story, though. Brother Bilal claims that Jada Pinkett Smith and Mark Anthony had a romantic relationship on the set of the show Hawthorne. While Will was apparently fine with this, according to Brother Bilal, even as gossip outlets reported on it, the final straw was when he allegedly caught his wife and the singer having on their couch. This, Brother Bilal says, devastated Will and led him into suicidal thoughts, whereas he also claimed that this prompted Anthony's divorce from Jennifer Lopez. Bilal alleged that Will Smith is comfortable with others being intimate with Jada when he is present, claiming that his insecurities arise only when he is not around. He suggested that the couple often welcomes others into their space, stating that there is a level of comfort when men and women engage in sexual activities with them, asserting that Will is fine with such arrangements. Will's comfortable with someone his wife when he's there. It's when he's not there, it's the insecurities, he alleged, suggesting the pair often welcomed others into their quarters. There's a comfortability when men and women come in to have sex with them. Will's fine with that. However, according to Bilal, things would take a dark turn after the Fresh Prince allegedly walked in on his wife having sex on their sofa with Anthony, unattended. He further added, Will lost it and beat the shit out of Jada. Beat the dog shit out of her. So bad that they had to make a makeshift hospital in their home so that it couldn't get out to the public. Bilal claimed that Will experienced pain upon seeing Jada with Mark Anthony on their couch, asserting that they were already involved while filming Hawthorne. He suggested that this knowledge was too much for Will to handle, leading him to react violently.
That pain of Will seeing Jada Mark Anthony on their couch in their home, right? Because he know they were already on the set. This is fact. He just couldn't take it and he whipped her ass.
The interview clip has been circulating online, attracting considerable attention due to its bold claims. Earlier, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's estranged wife, made headlines with revelations in her memoir, Worthy, where she claimed they have been separated since 2016 while still being legally married. However, recent controversial statements have sparked questions about the Oscar-winning actor's identity amid ongoing divorce rumors. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's relationship has long been surrounded by rumors. Recently, a new allegation surfaced claiming that Will had a sexual relationship with Duane Martin. In response, both actors refuted the rumor, labeling it as ridiculous, nonsense, and fabricated. During her appearance on The Breakfast Club, Pinkett Smith was asked about the claims involving her husband and Martin, and she firmly denied them. Let me just say this, it's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. Continuing to speak about the issue on The Breakfast Club, Jada Pinkett Smith said that they are going to take legal action calling brother Bilal claims made up.
And this is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories. So that's actionable, so we're going to roll with that.
Will Smith has broken his silence on the claims and slammed them all. The actor's reps recently told TMZ that brother Bilal's claims are made up. The rep said, "This story is completely fabricated, and the claim is unequivocally false." Another source reported that Smith is considering taking legal action against brother Bilal's remarks. Duane Martin has not addressed the claims yet. It is also unclear if brother Bilal had a legitimate connection with the actor. Now, Bilal is standing firm on his claims, asserting that he has proof. In another recent interview on Unwine with Tasha K, he reiterated his accusations despite threats of legal action from Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Bilal suggested that their quick responses indicated they knew the truth, noting that Jada's reply came within 9 hours, which he found suspicious. He felt both were aware of what he witnessed in the dressing room and other incidents. He strongly maintained that the transgender individual's death was indeed a murder, and even labeled Duane Martin a serial killer, implying that Will was not the only one involved in these troubling events.
Let me answer your other question. The reason Will responded, the reason why Jada responded, because they know it's true. Will's never responded, and they responded in less than 9 hours.
They did. That was a fast response.
That was because he know what I saw in that dressing room. He know other things that I saw.
You said it was murder.
Yes. Duane Martin's a serial killer because Will's not the only one.
Bilal stated that Jada had warned him she would sue him swiftly, yet it had been over 2 weeks without any action. He cautioned her that if she did not initiate the lawsuit within 2 more weeks, he would reveal details about her involvement in parties, including the names of the men she had been with and the salacious activities that caused harm to others. He stated, "So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me if you don't sue me. This is what's going to happen, all the parties, right? And the men that you hit with dildos. I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you done and hurt other people. I'm naming names." Bilal aimed to force Jada to admit she lied about him, claiming she had assassinated his character by accusing him of extortion, which is a criminal offense. He stated that there was a difference between civil claims and criminal accusations, and suggested that he could claim she had venereal diseases. He believed Jada wouldn't sue him because she knew the truth. He warned that if she did, he would countersue immediately and move straight into the discovery phase without filing preliminary motions. Bilal emphasized that he fears no one but Allah. He warned Jada that if she did not sue him within 2 weeks, he would come back with evidence, suggesting that Tasha K would assist him in sharing his side of the story. He confirmed that there would definitely be a part 3 to his narrative.
But I fear no one but Allah. Jada, listen, in 2 weeks, if you don't sue me in 2 weeks, if Tasha K will have me, I'm back here and I'm dropping evidence. Period. So you better.
So we're going to get a part 3?
Oh, it's going to definitely be a part 3.
Wow.
So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Will Smith is actually involved in these acts, or these are just allegations from brother Bilal? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.